That Man and His Merch.
Hello and welcome to That Man. That is me merchandise, and it's time to get excited as we look at Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn is a series that a lot of people recommended to me. In fact, it's a series that I have watched previously and felt was quite boring for the first half. It is a series that one of my friends absolutely adores and collects, and I managed to borrow the first few volumes of her. And yeah, it's one of those series that a lot of people are kind of recommending. It's like, oh, if you like shoujo, read Yona of the Dawn. And I was wondering why exactly read Yona of the Dawn? When I watched it, I was kind of like, yeah, this is nice, but there's no special. Strong female lead, reverse harem. I mean, I've got nothing against that, but it's not for me. But when I read it, my opinion of the series did change quite a bit. Now, Yona of the Dawn tells the story of a young princess who's just spoiled, she's moody, she's got beautiful red hair, much like me. This is orange, because I drink iron brew. But yeah, she's spoiled, she's like lives the life of luxury, she lives like basically she's kind of just the spoiled princess archetype, and it's not until something catastrophic happens to her family that she finds herself on the run. Now, one of the things I was quite surprised with this series is that people are just like, oh, she's a strong female lead, she's a brilliant female lead, and I was just like, she's a princess. She just sits and cries most of the time, or she just doesn't cry, she just sits and pouts and just like, oh, I can't wait to marry this guy. But then towards the end of volume 2, she does turn, so I can see where people are going with that. Yay! She's not badass from the start. Yay! There's character development. Yay! And this is one of the things I really did like with it, is that the series does start off really incredibly tedious. Yona isn't an interesting character. The characters of Hack is not interesting whatsoever. She's just like, oh, I'm a pretty princess, and he's just like, I am stereotypical angry guy. I speak only when needed to, because that is the bishy way. And I was reading it and I was like, you know what, I have absolutely no interest in any of these characters. I want out. And I stuck with volume 1, and I liked the twists and turns, even though they were painfully obvious. I mean, it does help that I've seen that anyway, but even then I kind of felt they were painfully obvious. But it was when I read volume 2, and that was when I picked it up and I was just like, oh, this actually gets exciting a lot quicker than the anime does. The anime was very drawn out. The anime's first like 6 or 7 episodes are kind of like equivalent to like 2 volumes, and it was very dragged out and it was very tedious. But when I read the manga, it was really a lot better. The characters that we initially get do quickly change, and they have to change. Their lifestyles are completely turned on their heads. Their comfortable life that they originally have is now turned into what looks to be preparing for war. It's not one of those series where you're just kind of like, oh, well, she's a princess, oh, well, but she'll meet all of these guys, and there'll be a reverse harem, and that's it. We'll have all of these wacky situations where she's just like, I'm a strong woman, and then the men will do all the work. I'm looking at you, Midsummer. God. But yeah, it was one of those series that I was really surprised with, and Yona does quickly become more interesting, more adept. She gets a lot more interesting points set up for her, and that's what I really liked about it. Like I said, she's a princess. Originally she's got to adapt. She doesn't really understand the world around her, but that has quickly got to change because, well, it's forced upon her. Much like in Spider-Man, greatness is thrust upon her. The character of Hack turns into a kind of just like a sleepy and dull guard into like her life support, basically. We kind of know that they're gonna get together in the end, but it is a little bit more interesting than that, and he does quickly have to find himself having to take more action than he had to originally. And that's what I really liked about this series, at least so far. I'm not going to lie, it's not setting my life on fire. I'm not going to be going, well, it's one of the greatest pieces of literature ever. But I've only read 2 volumes, and I remember from when I'm watching the anime, it was around episode 9, 10, 11 that the series started getting really good. Now, a reverse harem is not for me. Not at all. But I do appreciate that the characters are more than just your typical, well, I'm a guy, and I'm an effeminate guy, and I'm a burly guy, and I'm a cute guy. These are all in the series, but they're kind of just like, they feel a little bit more than that, and I feel like other series need to learn from this. The only thing for me that I didn't really like is the artwork. For some reason, shoujo artwork really annoys me, and this one's kind of the same. It's just like, there's characters appear and I'm just like, are you a guy or you're a guy, yeah, you're flirting with the main character, yeah, you're a guy. And I don't know why, like some of the character designs like in stuff like this really annoy me. I'm going to continue with this because, like I said, this is kind of first impressions. Like I said, I've watched the anime. I forgot pretty much everything that happened in the anime. Which is quite worrying because I only watched it a few months ago. Oh well. But yeah, I'm going to keep out with this. I'm going to borrow some more and try and catch up because there's something there in the series. I'm not sure if I'm kind of there yet, but I am enjoying what I'm reading, and I do want more of it. And if that's what I'm getting out of it, brilliant. That's what you want. And yeah, it's a fun series. The main character is development into something great. Like I said, I've read a lot of shoujo where they kind of say that's what happens, but you don't get an inkling of that. Maid-sama might turn good eventually in the end, but it wasn't particularly grand when I watched pretty much all of the anime. Oh god, I remember having to watch all of the anime. But read Yona, it's worth your time, and at the moment, as of recording, it's actually on sale on Comixology. I think each volume's like £2 or £3 each, which you can't go wrong with if you're on a budget. But yeah, definitely check it out. Lend it, borrow it, buy it, whichever you want, and I'll see you next time as we look at something else. Goodbye!